EES, which is pronounced ease, is an acronym for Engineering Equation Solver. The previous videos in this section describe the basic use of parametric tables. This video is going to present some of the more advanced, or at least some of the less well-known features associated with parametric tables. So let's again start with this simple system of three equations and three variables, x, y, and z. We can enter them and then solve them to obtain a solution, which we can look at in the solutions window. We can also create a parametric table that includes the variables x and z, so that we can parametrically vary the independent variable x and examine its effect on the dependent variable z. Now, in order to run the parametric table, I have to comment out the line in the equations window that specifies the value of the variable x. This change temporarily removes the specification, and it can be returned later by highlighting the text and selecting undo comment, as I'm doing right here. A more elegant method for removing one or more lines of code when a parametric table is being solved is to use the $if directive. The $if directive is used according to the general protocol that's shown here, where these are the lines of code that will be executed if this condition is true, and then these are the lines of code that will be executed if it's false. Condition is a keyword that indicates an execution condition, and there's many such keywords that are recognized by ease. These are discussed in more detail in chapter 14 of Mastering Ease, and we'll discuss them also in subsequent tutorials that are related to directives. However, one keyword that's useful here is parametric table, all one word, and that keyword is going to evaluate to true when the equations are being solved from a parametric table, and it will evaluate to false otherwise. So for our problem, we'd like to specify the value of the variable x in the equations window only if the value of parametric table is false, and therefore we need to add the code shown here. And now if I solve the table, this line will be removed, but if I solve the equations window, it will remain. And basically what that means is I can hit either solve or F2, or solve table or F3, and either way the code's going to run, and I won't have to comment out anything manually. Alternatively, the $if not directive works as well, so I could replace this with $1 if not directive as shown here, and that would also work. You can control the execution of the parametric table in order to aid in convergence as well. So if you go to the solve table dialog, you're going to see a few useful options. One is update guesses. So if you update guess values, then what ease will do is it will always update the guess values for all the variables based on the current solution before it moves on to the next run, and that can a lot of times help you avoid convergence issues. Stop if error occurs can be unchecked if you would like ease to skip rows where a solution could not be obtained. So for example, here we might make z the independent variable and x the dependent variable. So let's vary z from -1 to 1.25, and we'll use increments of 0.25. And if I just look at these equations, it's pretty obvious that we're going to run into trouble when z equals 0. We'll be dividing by 0 here. And if I just hit solve, then or solve table, you can see that everything stops at that run. If I'd like to skip over that run and continue to solve the table as much as possible, I can uncheck the stop if error occurs box, and in that case what you'll see is that all of the runs except z equals 0 are solved. You can select a few of the runs in the table and add a border or a background color to make them stand out if you'd like. And finally, you can add or remove a sum row at the bottom of the table that will show you the sum of all the entries in the columns. You can copy data from the table. So if I select a range of cells in the table, I can copy them to a temporary memory location, which is called the clipboard, and then paste that data into other tables in ease or into other applications such as word processors or spreadsheets. So for example, let's highlight these cells, and then we'll right click and we'll bring up this pop-up menu that's shown here. If I select copy, it places the information in the keyboard, and then I can open up for example Excel, and I'll copy the data into Excel, and you can see that here. If I select copy with headers, then you'll also get the header for each column, and so you can see that result here. One thing you'll notice in both of these cases is that the number of significant figures associated with the data that's copied corresponds to the number of significant figures that's used to display the information in the parametric table, and not the number of significant figures associated with the underlying data itself. And that's what the copy with the little E format indicator means. So if I select copy E format and then paste the data, you'll see that the data are copied with 12 significant figures, so that there's no loss of accuracy associated with the copy-paste operation. When the copy command is issued, ease actually copies the data to the clipboard in two formats. The first one uses the number of significant figures that are displayed, and that's what appears when you paste to an external program like Excel, unless you select the E format option. The second format that ease copies the data retains all of the significant figures. So if I paste data from one column of an ease table to another column within ease, or to any other table within ease, then ease will automatically use the second format. So it will paste the data with all the significant figures so that there's no loss in precision during this copying process. This is one of a series of tutorials meant to describe the operation of the ease software. If you'd like to get more information about ease, or obtain the software, or access more of these tutorials, please go to fchart.com. These tutorials are excerpted from the book Mastering Ease, and that book can also be obtained from the fchart website.